for the Warriors. They take down the Toronto Raptors 117 to 114. I would like to talk about the Steph Curry injury. I'm a big Stephen Curry fan. I am a diehard fan of Stephen Curry. I love him so much. I have two of his jerseys. And that was devastating. Like seeing that guy fall flat on falling hard on the court. It was just like hard to see. I never like to see anything like that. Like injuries.
He looked like he was gonna cry from pain, dude. I've never seen him like that. Have you?
He was crying on the court due
It
to
looked like
pain.
it. Yeah, he looked like he was in real pain. I've never seen him in that much pain. It was hard to watch. 100% give you that.
I could compare that injury that Stephen Curry faced. It was similar to Patrick McCaw. Remember when he back in 2018 when Vince Carter he was Patrick McCaw was airborne. Vince Carter caught him airborne in the air and he fell and he cracked broke he hurt his
Yes,
back. Remember that Patrick
I do
McCaw from the
remember that.
Warriors?
And Ryan Leon's
That
going to give us some more insights in just a moment. He's joining us now, but continue on, Chardol, please.
This was a great victory. It's a statement. They got to keep winning more games like this. I know this was not a blowout victory, but like I'll take whatever A victory is a victory for me in my eyes. I don't care if it's a 3 point victory or a 4 point victory or a 5 point victory or a 6 point victory. Victory is a victory. That's my motto.
James Baum in the chat adding that they carried Patty McCaw, fine Irish lad, Patrick McCaw, off in a stretcher on that play.
Uh,
That was
so
crazy.
um, so Jimmy Butler had a triple double. His second triple double. Jimmy Butler is a transcendent player. He is amazing.
Agreed.
That guy can revolutionize a whole game. You think he could be? You think Jimmy Butler can be Jimmy Butler 2.0?
Do I think Jimmy Butler can be Jimmy Butler 2.0?
Like
Sure.
like a much better version of Jimmy Butler. That's what he's
But
looking like right now.
Shardal, we have some sound coming in, and I want to get to Ryan, and I got at least two other people who want to join us as well. Any final thoughts, Shardal, before we move on?
My final thoughts are great. It's great that you had me on the show today. I love everything you do on the channel, brother. Guys, make sure to click like button, smash the subscribe button, ring that notification bell for Golden Days. Reference the Stoner movie Days and Confused by Matthew
Yes, sir.
McConaughey.
Yes, sir.
I love all the content you bring to the channel, and it was great coming on, and I'll definitely see you next time. And I also had a similar incident with what happened to Steph Curry when he fell and he was
You broke
crying
your
in pain.
buttocks?
No, I was in high school, and I sprained my ankle. I fell awkwardly, and I rolled my ankle and sprained it. I sprained my ankle.
That's
I,
awful.
I
I'm
fell
so
off
sorry,
I
Shardal.
fell off a couple of stairs, and I landed all wrong on my foot, rolled it, and they had to take me on a wheelchair, and I was crying sitting down when I sprained my ankle.
Moses Moody even just heard your story, and here's his reaction.
I mean, it sucks.
Yeah, that's an awful story, man. I'm sorry. Even Moses Moody has sympathy for you. Shardal, am I going to see you Saturday night?
Um, um, I'll be unfortunately I won't be on the show Saturday night.
Son of a bitch.
I'll be going to a Sharks game with my friends up in San Jose. We're going to a hockey game up in San Jose. We're gonna have dinner in San Jose at around 6 o'clock. And then we're gonna walk over to the arena. So I won't be there on Saturday, but make sure to look for me next time I come on the show. Make sure to look for me.
Love it. Oh, and Perry Olson adding another movie with days in it, Glory Days, with Ben Affleck as a UC Santa Cruz student. Actually, I don't know about that one, but we'll find. Thank you so much,
Hey,
Shardal.
Ryan.
Yeah.
How do you like my logo? It's supposed to be the Barry of Butchers. Jimmy Butler's a butcher, and then a butler, and then Steph Curry is the chef, and they're supposed to be like a graphic take on Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry.
My one piece of constructive criticism, if you don't mind, sir, make it bigger.
Yeah. Oh, it's
Make
cool.
it bigger.
I had to zoom in my my computer.
I don't know how to make it bigger.
Okay, we'll work on that, Shardal. We'll
I
see you
can't see
soon,
it.
all right,
It's too
brother?
small.
I love you. I'm sorry, we got to move on because of time. Ryan, how you
We'll
doing?
figure
Good
it
to
out.
see you.
Okay.
So let's hear from Ryan before we get to
Chardonn's
you.
great, man.
And
He's got
Ryan,
to move quicker, man. You can't have these long pauses. Yeah.
Chardol is he's awesome. I don't know what else to say about that. And the beautiful thing about Chardol, he's a work in progress. As time goes on, you're going to see a more and more polished product. I love the guy, and I love
I'm
Ryan
going to sound like a New
Leong.
Yorker here, man. You got to get to the point.
Ryan Leong is with NBC News Radio with Bay Area Sports Wrap. You can follow him on Twitter at Ryan Leong. Ryan, before we get to you, though, I want to play this soundbite from Steve Kerr because this Stephen Curry injury is important, and I really hope it's not serious. Let's quickly hear from Steve Kerr because this is the first time I've seen sound come down. Turn the volume up on your devices. I believe this is from Anthony Slater. Here is Steve Kerr talking about Stephen Curry's injury tonight.
Getting an MRI right now. I just kind of fell pelvic, tailbone area. So he was trying to come back. He thought he might be able to come back, and we just decided not to risk anything. And so hopefully it's not bad, but he's getting imaging right now.
He had a similar injury. You probably remember a few years ago. Have you talked to him at all? Did it,
I have not seen him. He's by the time we got down there, he was already gone getting the imaging.
Gotcha.
All right. And we're joined again by Ryan Leong, who covers the Warriors among many teams, many sports. Your reaction to the game and anything you've heard about Stephen Curry besides what Steve Kerr just reported right there.
Well, no, unfortunately, because I'm in the visiting interview room area.
Right.
So nobody's going to be better than Anthony Slater getting the answer that he got. Now it's funny when it happened. I saw the injury take place. Not post game, man. I don't have time. I'm going to the visitors. I'm coming here. I don't have time post game.
Okay. But the
if I do that, I'm not making your podcast.
Why is there a delay? What's going on with you tonight? Is the internet bad there for you this evening?
What he did. I remember he had the injury. Well, remember when he had that injury in Houston? Okay, he landed on that one before. It caused him a lot of pain and a lot of grief.
Correct.
So it's all for that.
It is. Your internet sucks
tonight,
Ryan.
My internet or your internet? We have some issues here.
Yeah, you are having issues there because like your face is frozen, your audio is barely coming in. Do me a favor, just leave and come back because sometimes that fixes it. And you have the link. Just do me a favor, Ryan, and just reset things. He'll join us again in just a second because that was not working at all, and that's okay. While we wait for Ryan, Sachin, did I pronounce that right? How you doing?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you. How are you?
I can't hear you though. So
you can't hear me? Can everyone?
I can't hear you. If you can hear me.
Oh, that sucks. Is that the same for everyone else? I mean,
yeah, I don't know.
How do you? But you're answering my questions though. How do you not hear me if you can answer me? Let's get Ryan Leong back on the show, and Sachin's with us as well. Although Sachin claims he can't hear me. Ryan, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I think we're good now. So
you're better. It's already a million times better.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What was your reaction? Sachin, come back in just a second to try again. What was your reaction, Ryan, to tonight's game? A thriller. I don't know if it should have been a thriller, but I think as someone said astutely earlier tonight from the chat, teams show up. They take it to the next level when they play the Warriors, and the Raptors are a perfect example of that.
You know what? You can't. People have to stop doing this, especially. Yeah, well, us in the media, we can't be looking at a team's record and say the Warriors should be blowing these guys out by 30 points. They're still an NBA team, okay? If the Warriors play somebody from the G League and it's a close game, then okay, you can make that argument. But when you're playing NBA teams, you're going to get a team's best. And when they see that you're beatable or they can use it as momentum to get better, hell yeah, they're going to come out and play fired up. So I get really annoyed when people say that, this game should be a blowout. No, it shouldn't. I think if anything, teams rise up to the occasion, and maybe the Warriors, to a certain degree, play down to the level of their opponent.
Agreed. That's a great call because the Warriors, at least in the first half of this game, in all honesty, it felt like until the Stephen Curry injury, the intensity was not brought to the table on the Warriors side of things. And Baby Cakes in the chat, by the way, brings up an interesting point. And I brought this up earlier as well, but just to reiterate, the NBA officiating is utter trash. I mean, I think that's a universal opinion in the same way that the approval rating of the Democratic Party right now is the lowest it's ever been. I'd say the approval rating of NBA officials is right there with them. And tonight, the Stephen Curry injury, the play, and I'm sorry to call out the Democratic Party, but I just saw a poll the other day that said that. Sorry to get political. It's just permeating in our audience tonight. I digress. The officials are very unpopular. They do a lot of stupid things. They make a lot of calls that make no damn sense. Stephen Curry gets injured tonight on a play where I thought he was clearly injured. I saw a few plays with Jonathan Kuminga where I thought he was blatantly fouled, and he was calling for it as well. Kuminga's not the type to whine repeatedly to the refs. If he's complaining, in all likelihood, he got hit. What was your take on the officiating tonight? Oh, it's not me, folks, is it? Sachin.
No. I tried the Wi-Fi now, so I switched. I switched off the Wi-Fi. I mean the plug. Now I'm trying the Wi-Fi. I think it's gonna be better.
Yeah, well, don't you normally do that, or no?
No, yeah. Normally I'm plugged in, but tonight it's not working well. So I'm trying Wi-Fi. It looks like the Wi-Fi is working. So
What were your thoughts on the officials, brother?
Things to typical NBA officiating. I don't expect anything from the officials. They're not getting any better. In fact, it's funny. As the younger they get, and you get these new officials coming in to replace the what do you call it, the Scott Fosters and the Bennett Salvatores and who's that guy, the Tim Donahue's of the world. Their replacements are not getting better. They're not improving. No. And it's like baseball, right? You need more technology to keep these guys in line, which is really sad. I mean, I think the officiating was probably better, back like 30, 40 years ago.
Let's. Do you mind if we try bringing Sachin on the show again, Ryan? Because he couldn't hear me before. Sachin, can you hear me now? And if yes, what's on your mind, brother?
All right, yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, cool.
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah, okay. So I just wanted to talk about the game. Like, obviously, this game doesn't matter much in the grand scheme of things. Like, you beat the Raptors, but I would say it's a pretty good game considering Steph's out. You probably feel that in the arena. I know, Ryan, you were there. You probably feel that in the arena, kind of like the star players down, and you rally back. I think they were down by 7 at that point, and they came back and won the game. So it's a good test for the team, and they've been winning on this homestand, apart from the Nuggets game, which we don't talk about. But my question is, if the Warriors were to make the playoffs and they were a top 6 seed, what team would you want to see? And because matchups matter a lot, right? So
it does. No, 100% agree, especially in the postseason.
Okay, so
that's a great question. And Sachin, your levels are kind of off, so I'm gonna cut you off here. I'm really sorry. Please don't take this as a rude gesture. It's just your levels were up and down. Come back, please. But I heard the question. It's a great question from Sachin. Who would be the ideal first round playoff matchup for the Warriors? Ryan, I'll start with you. What do you think?
Well, obviously you don't want to face the Nuggets, so anybody but them. I think if it gets to the Lakers or anybody else, I think the Warriors have a chance. I just wouldn't want to see them against Denver, right? I just think Denver's the one team.
Yeah, to me the
they haven't had a lot of success against the Clippers, at least in the regular season. But I think the Warriors. I think the Warriors are running against anybody but Denver.
The good news with the Clippers is it's very unlikely, highly unlikely, that they're going to play the Clippers in the first round. Simply because they're too close to each other. The Warriors would have to elevate to like the 2 seed or 3 seed. Possible. I mean, we can't rule that out either. But with 12 games to go, I don't know if that's going to happen. Houston, to me, is the ideal opponent. Like they're inexperienced. Any team that does not have a surefire number one leading the way, like taking the big shots when it matters most, to me is who you want to target. That is your postseason victim right there. And Houston, they're a good team. Like 2 years ago, they were irrelevant. They sucked. They were in the middle of a rebuild. Ime Udoka shows up and immediately turns that franchise around, and they're relevant again. With that said, if Fred VanVleet is who you're afraid of most for shots at the end of a game, I'm taking Houston all day, every day. Memphis would be my second favorite option for the Warriors to face, simply because inexperience. They've beaten them before. They know that opponent. They beat them already twice this season, 2 out of 3 games. So those would be my 1-2 in terms of preference. I think the Warriors can beat the Lakers, but that's going to be a tough first-round matchup, but that's what happens. The Nuggets, they scare the shit out of me. The Warriors and Nuggets play each other on April 4th. And I think that those are the options, right? I mean, is there anyone else who the Warriors could theoretically play? I think those are the 4 teams that will likely be one of the matchups. Right, Ryan? What do you think?
Let's see, 3, 6. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they could play the Grizz, but obviously they play the Nuggets. Like, that's what you don't want. Like I said, that's the one. I think the Warriors, like I said, I'm going to stick with what I said. They've got a pretty chance in Denver.
Ryan, dude, I don't want to be a dick. I never want to be a dick, but your internet connection sucks balls tonight. It's awful. I don't know what's going on.
It's really bad. We'll probably cut it short then. I don't know why. Well, yeah, and the thing is, I tried both already with either the cable or the Wi-Fi, and they're not working. So maybe
I think it's something going on there. It happens. And I'll say this: what's happening to you right now is what's happening to you right now is the single biggest reason why I'm always hesitant to do a show from Chase, is because I don't know how reliant that internet connection is. But Ryan, let's do this. Are you free Saturday? Because the Warriors are about to go on a long road trip, and I'd love to bring you on for at least one of those shows. Saturday or sometime next week, you tell me, brother. Let's bring you back on for one of those shows.
Well, there's one thing Saturday. I could do Saturday. They're on the road, right? Or who are they playing on
Correct.
Saturday?
They play the Hawks.
Against who?
The Hawks.
Okay,
and tip-off is 4 p.m. Saturday, so we'd be going live at about 6:30.
Okay, we can do that. You know where I'll be live from?
No.
The Shark Tank.
Let's do it. If you're down, let's do it.
I'm down. I'll be there.
Let's do it. We'll see you Saturday, okay?
Cool. Sounds good, man.
All right, brother. Sorry for the short show with Ryan Leong tonight, but that's what happens when the internet sucks. Let's go to Damo. Domo, correct me, please. How are you doing tonight?
Damo. How you doing?
Doing okay.
How you doing?
Doing okay. How about yourself?
Yeah, good, thanks. Good. I'm from Australia.
Welcome.
We've been doing really, really, really good.
You Aussies, side note, are my favorite people on the planet. I'm sure you've heard this a million times. Everywhere I've traveled on this blue planet of ours, you folks, when I come across an Aussie or a group of Aussies, I end up just hanging out with you folks and end up having the time of my life. So whatever is going on down in Australia society, I feel like the parents are raising the kids right. Just wanted to throw that out there and continue on. Sorry, Demo.
Yeah, we've been doing great. Since Jimmy Butler's turned up, we've been doing absolutely great. There is no problem with us. We are at least, can I say we're at least Western Conference?
What do you mean?
Finals?
Western Conference Finals.
Well, I think we're good enough. I think we're good enough to get there.
Easily. Do you think they're good enough to win the championship?
Oh.
Damo, what are you doing, man? It sounds like you're like in a kitchen washing dishes. What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm cooking dinner. Sorry. Yes.
It sounds like
technically, yes.
It sounds like it, man. All right, what are you doing? Are you cooking for family? Like, what's going on?
It's nearly 5 o'clock, so I'm cooking dinner for us all.
I like it. What are you cooking?
Fried rice. But yeah,
right? Well,
no,
you're not just cooking. Yeah.
Look, ever since Jimmy Butler turned up, we have been really good. There is no one on our roster that I'd trade for. Everyone is good.
You can't make trades this season anyways, Dano.
I know that. But everyone, Schroeder's gone, and Lindy Waters gone, and even our Canadians gone. But everyone,
you're talking about.
We have been doing so good.
Dano, we're trying to get the show going here, and I feel like it's hit the brakes Any final thoughts before I go to Ryan and as we start wrapping it up? Oh, and Frank's dad, whoever that is. Go ahead.
We are going good.
Awesome.
We are going to the finals.
Dano, I love the energy. Dude, come back when you're not making dinner with the family. I want your concentration. I want your full focus. But thank you, Dano. I love that you're joining us from the other side of the planet. And go Dubs. I agree with you. I think they're gonna at least make the Western Conference Finals. I need to see that April 4th match against the Nuggets to feel better about their ultimate prospects. Let's go to Ryan. Welcome.
What's up, man?
What's up, brother?
So I've been watching your show, and I've been seeing some people talk about like hating on Kuminga and all that stuff. My input in that is like Kuminga, like his new deal coming up. That's what I'm worried about. It's not I don't hate him. I'm just worried about like him getting paid like $225 million, and he's not really producing at that level yet.
That's fair.
I just want to hear your input on that. I think that's
fair.
Yeah.
The only reason why I'm not talking about it now is because it's irrelevant. We will cover that subject ad nauseum when the season's over.
I don't.
But right now, it's like I don't understand what the point is of discussing it now. I will say this. Jonathan Kuminga, let's say for the sake of argument, he gets the deal he wants, which is $35 million a season, 5 years, right?
Okay.
It's not going to handicap the Warriors. The salary cap is going to go up so high that by the time you start getting to year 3 and 4 of Kuminga's deal, it's going to look like a bargain.
That's fair.
And it's not going to handicap the Warriors in terms of aprons. It's not going to put them in a situation where it's not going to hurt the team, is what I'm trying to say. The salary cap is set up right now because you have so many contracts going off the books next year as well. You have the cap going up as well because the media rights deal is starting to kick in, the new one. If your worry is his salary is going to affect the team in terms of free agency, in terms of hurting them, getting other players, I'm not worried about that because if you look at the numbers, the Warriors are going to be fine.
All right. That's just my only thing. I don't hate Kuminga. I think he's a really great player. I think his inside game is better. I think they should utilize him more on that. I think he needs to drive more. I don't think he should be taking 3-point shots, but he has to because people won't respect him if he doesn't take the shot. So
agreed.
Sense.
But
yeah.
he was up to 35% from 3, and that'll come back. It's, I'm not that worried about it.
We got to give him grace because he just came back, and
exactly.
Talk shit. Yeah, I get it.
Well,
that's all I wanted to say. You approached this in the most professional manner imaginable.
You were respectful. You were calm. No, you were fine. I just to add to this, and the biggest reason why I'm not a JK critic like a lot of people are. I'm not going to criticize anybody who doesn't get a fair shot. And you look at any player in the NBA who has made it, right? Anybody. You named a player, I'll go through his log to prove the point. And they played 30-plus minutes a season from their rookie year on. The rookie year of Kuminga for the Warriors, justifiable, dude. They won a championship that year. No one's arguing that Kuminga should have played more than 17 minutes or whatever the total was. But from year 2 on, for a player that some people projected to be the number 1 pick in one of the deepest drafts in NBA history, he fell to the Warriors to 7. They were lucky as F-bomb that happened, and we have yet to see him get an opportunity. If he has an actual opportunity to play, meaning 30-plus minutes, and he's still playing like shit,
definitely,
I'm piling on too. But every single time he actually gets minutes, and because this is one criticism I have of Kuminga, for example. He doesn't start games off strong. That's an MO of his. It's not a universal thing. Some games he will start strong, but typically, like tonight, for example, I thought he had a great start to the game. And just to validate that with statistics here, Jonathan Kuminga in the first half of this game, where he was pulling up for mid-range jumpers and hitting them, he was attacking the paint. Kuminga was 6 of 9 from the field, 1 of 3 from deep, 14 points, 2 assists, and a rebound in the first half. Fantastic, right?
No, he was amazing.
But that's not normally the case. Normally, he's starting off weak. And that's been my whole point with Kuminga from the get-go is he is someone like a lot of players who sometimes has to establish a rhythm, as I'm losing my voice here, to really get going. And some players you don't see the full product until they play a full game. And Kuminga's never playing full games. And again, I understood it the first year, did not understand it the second year.
Yeah,
And so
that
forth.
second year was crazy. They like when they were in the Kings. I remember the playoff series. I know he didn't play great, but like, why not use him in the Lakers series? They totally botched that. The second series, they literally didn't play him at all. It made me insane watching that Lakers series. And he sat on the bench, and like we needed a player like him.
Ryan, if you were watching me on the old show back in that playoff series, I was going crazy because
Okay, so we agree with that.
1,000% with you.
Yeah,
1,000%. Like that series, that Lakers series drove me insane because the Warriors needed size, and the only answer Steve Kerr had was JaMychal Green. And Kuminga was getting, I don't want to get too much into that because it pisses me off. And Andrew Wiggins was laying eggs, and that was just year one of a 3-year period of Wiggins where he just was underperforming, underachieving. Yeah, so Kuminga, my whole point has always been, let this kid get a fair shot, and then let's judge and assess.
That's
Until
fair.
then, I don't know how anyone can have these like strong opinions about him when there is no like decent sample size to properly formulate judgments or opinions on him. So and again, our dealer worldwide. This is the types of takes that I see all the time pertaining to Kuminga. Bad luck charm. Right? What is the analysis in that? What is like that? That's a superstition, but that's your criticism. It's absurd, dude. It is
absurd. We won every game except one.
What's up?
We're 3-1 with Kuminga already.
4-1 now. 4-1 since he's back. Yeah, 4-1.
That's crazy. You can't say that.
And he scored in double figures every game.
They won a championship his rookie year. How is he a bad luck charm? That's crazy.
But that's why I call these people haters. And again, there's 12 games left in the season. Save these conversations for when it actually matters, which is June, July. We'll beat this to a dead horse then. Not now. They just won another game. They won their 41st game of the season. They're gunning for 50 wins, which is reachable, attainable. Side note, that is insane. That's my focus right now. And if look, if you're in the audience and you want to talk about Kuminga extensively, I'm sure there's other programs you can go to. I want to focus on what matters. The Warriors winning. The Warriors pursuing a title.
They look amazing. They look amazing right now. And also, I wanted to say one more thing. Curry fell. Did you guys hear the crack when he like hit the ground?
I heard a thud. I heard a noise.
If you turn the volume up, there was like a crack. I was super scared about that. But then they said it like I didn't hear anything about the X-ray, but they said he wanted to come back in the game, so that's probably a good sign.
Yeah. And it's a great sign. And again, I don't know if you ever suffered a bruised or broken. It's weird they're calling it pelvis because pelvis is a little different.
Exactly. When I heard that, I was like, "What?"
Yeah, and I hope that's not that. I hope there's nothing serious there, but it looked like a tailbone thing. And I don't know if any of you folks have ever done serious damage to your tailbone. It hurts. You can't hide that pain. Like you can't fake it and tough it out and be like, "I'm okay." No, that shit hurts. It feels like you got shot. But the seriousness of it long term is nil. Like that's why I hope that this is not a serious injury with no ramifications, because if it's not, this is a blessing, man. Like all you're going to get is Steph refreshed come postseason.
Exactly. We have 4 pretty winnable games. So, I mean, if he comes back in April 1st, that'd be great for the Grizzlies games. Hopefully he's not hurt that bad, but
Before you go, Ryan, and we got Gary Garcia who's going to wrap it up tonight for the guest line. This is the upcoming road trip. And tell me what you think about this, because it's not just the opponents that makes me smile. It's all the days off. Yeah, dude, the NBA, for all the brutal back-to-backs and the brutal stretches the Warriors have had to endure this year, take a look at this upcoming road trip. They start Saturday in Atlanta. Insanely winnable. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but it's very winnable. Then Tuesday. That means Sunday they're off, Monday they're off. That's not a good thing. So Tuesday, they play the Miami Heat, a team that's lost 9 in a row. Then they're
going to want to win that one, though.
And they better win that one, yes. Then they get Wednesday off.
Wow.
Thursday off.
Wow.
Then Friday, they play the New Orleans Pelicans. Very winnable game. Then they have Saturday off. And then they play the Spurs, a team that is wholeheartedly tanking at this point.
Yeah.
Then they have Monday off. Wow. Then they play the Memphis Grizzlies Tuesday, and then it gets serious after that because
the Lakers
they finish the road trip Thursday in LA, and then Friday they play the Nuggets at home. So that's kind of crazy. But the point is, they're about to embark right now on a 6-game road trip where they have 6 days off in that road trip. Your thoughts?
I think it's great. That gives Curry more time to heal. That's all we really need right now at this moment. And during this time, we could have Kuminga come in and be a little bit more aggressive, which he kind of, I mean, that'd be great because they'll have more opportunity now.
And let me ask you this: I don't know how you felt, but Kuminga tonight looked a lot better than he did the last 4 games. He looked like he was
100%.
finally getting the rhythm back that he had before the injury. What did you think?
I think that's 100% true. He's jumping off 2 feet instead of doing that one-legged thing he was doing the other night.
Yeah.
And he's getting to like his spots where like his kind of like a Kawhi Leonard thing, like kind of like in the middle, you know, he has that like fadeaway shot. That's what ceiling is to me. I know that's a crazy ceiling, but that's what I hope for. I tell my friends that they think I'm crazy, but it looks like he could, if that's the way, that's a ceiling. So who knows if we'll reach that, but you know,
No, I'm with you. I have no idea what the ceiling is. I still, if I had to guess, I'm still leaning towards like Jaylen Brown, like a player like that. But look, if that's what he ends up being, great, right? I mean, NBA champion, Finals MVP. But I have no clue what that ceiling is going to be for him. But I do agree with A-Rod1 in the chat who writes, people are going to be thankful for Kuminga in these next 2 weeks. I wholeheartedly agree. He's just going to get better and better. I mean, the version we saw of him in December will be back, and I can't wait for that. Where are you at, by the way? For some reason, I'm guessing San Francisco. I could be totally mistaken.
I live in Lincoln. It's like a suburb of Sacramento. I know it's crazy. I just love Curry so much. I stopped watching basketball for 2 years, and then Curry came into the league, and it was like a magnet back. Because I used to be, I liked the Kings for such a long time, and then like Curry came in. I know it's kind of, I don't care what people say. I just love Curry's just so amazing to watch. You know what I mean?
Of course.
I mean, how could you not love Curry? I mean, you watch him. He's like, to me, I always tell people there's like like magic players that we've seen in the NBA. It goes for my lifetime. It goes Jordan, Kobe, Curry, and those are the players you watch. You're like, holy shit! When you watch these players, they just bring like, I don't know what it is, but when you watch them, you think they're gonna make every shot, and it's just pure magic. That's me.
Wholeheartedly agree with you. I feel like we'd have a good time hanging out together because we're on the same page. Like Frank Grimes brings up December, which was a fantastic month statistically for Kuminga. But Frank Grimes, who's clearly a Kuminga hater, and judge me if you will for entertaining and indulging his comments, which are ignorant. But it mentions that the Warriors were losing in December. There were 4-10 that month. Take note of who the opposition was. The December schedule was the most difficult stretch of games for the Warriors. Here, I'll pull it up right now just so you can see just how ridiculously difficult it was. And Frank apparently is forgetting just how bad this Warriors team was as well. This was not when they had Jimmy Butler. The Warriors were 25-26 when they traded for Jimmy Butler, but somehow he expects Jonathan Kuminga to carry the whole entire team, him and Stephen Curry, as a 22-year-old in his 4th year. Here is, and who never plays 30 minutes a game either, which is vitally important. That's where a lot of the stats nerds lose me. In the month of December, the Warriors, this was their schedule: at Denver, Houston, Minnesota, Houston, Dallas when they were good, Memphis, Minnesota, Indiana, LA, Lakers, LA, Clippers, Phoenix Suns, Cleveland Cavaliers.
That's ridiculous. That's crazy.
That is crazy. But morons like this are going to say because the Warriors were 4-10 in that stretch that Kuminga's not a good player. Get the F out of here, dude. Like it's literally just hatred. You are literally just a hater, man. Any final thoughts, Ryan? Or do you just agree? I don't know.
I watch your show every time after the Warriors play, so I enjoy the entertainment. Thank you so much.
Thank you, brother. Thanks for joining us, man. I really appreciate that, and thank you, man.
I'll join some other time. Next time you're
all right. Please do. I hope you join us. Yeah, thank you, brother. Have a good night. And Gary, are you joining us from? Where are you joining us from? Orlando? Where are you?
Dominican Republic.
Dominican Republic. Okay, I feel because I think there are 2 folks with the last name Garcia, and it's you in the Dominican, and then there's another who's in Orlando. Forgive me for the confusion. How are you doing, and how is life in the Dominican Republic on a Thursday evening?
Great. Look, people in the chat, and they're saying that it's only Toronto, but remember, we were losing to these teams. They were running us out of the gym.
Yes.
And now they're not. Second of all, Toronto, they're young, athletic, and presented problems for us that we're having a solution and answer for them. Third of all, Kuminga. Stop the hate. Come on, man. This guy, 22 years old, he's used to being the number one option, super athletic guy. He is still, it's the fourth year with us, but he's still learning the system. It's a really complicated system. Kuminga is the future. See, maybe an all-star, maybe a superstar, who knows, but we need him.
And look, if you're going to trade him, I'm not someone who's going to sit here and say like, no, you can't trade him no matter what. But don't come at me and propose Cam Johnson, a guy who's never made an all-star team, a guy who's pushing 30 and who does not lead his own team to winning. Don't propose that. Like, that's an absurd trade. Like come at me with a trade proposal that actually brings back someone of equal value. When we talk about value, it's not just the talent of the player himself. Age plays into it. Potential plays into it. You know, like the what assets can you get back for this specific player comes into it. So Cam Johnson ain't it. All right. I'm not going to sit here and like block trade proposals for Kuminga. Be realistic though. Like come at me with proposals that actually make sense. Like if the Warriors, for some reason, that, like, let's say hypothetically this offseason, if the Warriors don't win the championship and Giannis Antetokounmpo is suddenly an option, of course you trade Kuminga for that. Like, I mean, you're not, that goes without saying, right? I try to be pragmatic about this, but it's just, I'm not going to hate on a kid who's never gotten a fair shake, who's never played consistent minutes, who when he plays 30 plus minutes delivers. That's the part about this that all the haters, you lose me in this front. When he plays 30 or more minutes, he delivers. His numbers are absurdly good. I used absurd again. I'm sorry. They're fantastic. When he plays, great things happen. It ain't complicated. So I'll leave it at that. Oh, go ahead, Garcia. Sorry, Gary.
And let's not forget, like you said the other day, he comes from a third world country. Nothing has been given. Everything has been earned.
Correct.
He's
a good dude.
He had to move here to the U.S. all alone. He was the 7th overall pick. This guy has had his fair share of problems, even with this team, with not getting the minutes that all his peers were getting. He just came back from a really nasty injury. He relies on his legs to explode.
Correct.
He's getting that confidence back, that hand-eye coordination, that game speed back. He's going to get his minutes, like Stricto Christo says. He's going to get his minutes.
And every time he does, man. I don't have the stats in front of me, but if you look at his numbers, every time he plays 30 minutes, it's like some sample size of 50 or 60 games over his career. His numbers are absurd. He's efficient. He scores. He grabs boards. No player will ever develop and reach their potential if they don't actually get NBA minutes. There's no replication for that in terms of experience.
With their ass on the bench, they're going to get experience.
Yeah, exactly. So
and it's so annoying, the fact that Steve Kerr he's one of the luckiest SOBs on the planet. He gets
That's true.
All of these things drops like to his lap.
I think even he would admit that.
Pajensky, he was not playing last year, but injuries and things like that, all of a sudden 19 points a game, now Pajensky's in. Guy Santos, Post, everything falls, but come on, do not expect these guys to develop while riding the bench.
How's the weather in the Dominican Republic right now? Is it balmy? Like, are you going to the beach and kicking back and drinking?
Always summer. 52 weeks of summer.
But right now is like spring break time, right? Do you get annoyed by all the tourists and the crowds like that coming and ruin your beaches?
That's constant. That's constant. We have we're like number 2 destiny of beaches, tourist beaches in the worldwide.
So Dominican Republic is a year-round destination. It's not like what's that place in South Texas? Is it I got to look it up on the maps. There's a one beach area in South Texas that's like a popular spring break spot, but it's only like hopping certain times of the year. So in the Dominican, it doesn't matter what month, what day. It's bumping.
Year. The whole year.
Do you like that or do you hate that?
No, I love it.
You do? So you like tourists? Do you make money off them?
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
There are
good.
bad tourists. There are good tourists. There are good people. There are bad people. It all depends.
I was thinking of South Padre Island, by the way, who, a side note, I had such a wonderful experience there, but I went during like an off time. Like they have off times, I guess is what I'm trying to say. There is no off season for the Dominican Republic.
No. All year round. We
And
have
you're watching the
resorts here.
Warriors, and like when you watch the Warriors in the Dominican, like what's your setup? Are you in a living room where like air conditioning's blasting? Do you have a TV set up outside so you can drink your cervezas and just scream? And like what's the setting for your Warriors experience?
I have my studio here, and I have like the big screen TV, and I also have the iPad laying here and checking the stats and everything, drinking some rum.
Mm. Dude,
It's good,
to
it's
me,
good.
it's hard to beat a cold beer on a hot day, man. It's just a beautiful feeling.
The
Well,
best.
and speaking of the best, the Warriors won again. Again, the record on the season is now 41-29. The Warriors had 30 assists in this game tonight. A lot of ball movement. I didn't think their issues this evening were as offensive necessarily, but the Warriors also out in terms of the rebounding battle. They lost to Toronto, and that doesn't either because Toronto did bring some size some size out there tonight. 44 rebounds for the Raptors, 38 for the Warriors, and the Warriors got killed in points in the paint tonight. The Raptors had 58 points in the paint to just 30 for Golden State. Yet they still win. Any reaction to that information?
Yeah, when Post was off the floor, it was felt the lack of size. When he came in, people were like thinking about it. That's the thing that they did 30 shots. They like go in and go out again. They probe, and size matters. We're seeing it.
Yeah. It doesn't like tonight I thought was a good example of where that starting five is not optimal. It depends on the opposition. Like I did not like Draymond Green manning up against Jakob Poeltl for a lot of possessions. Like that there's such a disparity there. And it's one thing if it's the playoffs, and it's crucial minutes in a game, but when you're starting a game, I don't know, man. What do you think?
And remember, Jakob Poeltl, he's a true 7-footer. He's 250. He's banging.
Yeah.
He's banging.
He's a big dude. He's a big dude.
Remember, Draymond has a bad back. We need to be surfing for the playoffs.
Exactly. So, all right, brother. Well, enjoy your night. Am I going to see you Saturday?
One last thing. I had a bad feeling about this game. I was like, Curry shouldn't be playing today. We're gonna win. Without him, he should rest. And bam! As soon as I saw him with that landing, I turned the TV off. I was, damn! I freaking knew it.
I mean, look, Steph. I feel like Steph would play through like a broken leg if he could. It's unfortunate that sometimes he forces his way into the lineup when rest is the best medicine for him. The Nuggets game I thought was a perfect example of that. Like
he's a super professional.
Yeah.
If he can play, he will play because he knows that there are people that are saving up money and buying things up ahead to see him. He's a super professional, a great super athlete all around with the interviews, post game. He always says it's the right thing. But man, he should take care of himself more.
And if there's any good news from this, and let's hope that this is an injury that just requires some rest. Apparently they're going to get an MRI on him. Let's hope he's going to be okay. And because if he is, this is a blessing in disguise. Like I think the rest is going to help him in terms of the postseason. But all right, brother, have a great rest of the evening in paradise. The Dominican Republic, Gary Garcia, thank you. Let's hear from Jimmy Butler, who had a triple-double tonight. Fantastic game. I don't think the Warriors win this game without him. Yeah. So here is Jimmy Butler. And I believe this is a lighthearted moment. This is courtesy of my former employer, KNBR, who, when they post sound, usually it's good. This is some Jimmy Butler, Buddy Hield banter. I don't know if you folks remember when these two were going back and forth, and Jimmy Butler asked Buddy Hield to spell the word connector. I think that's what it was. Anyways, here's Jimmy Butler again.
Couldn't
It'd be better if it was like Buddie, but Bddy is kind of boring. Can you go home, man? I'm going home to go back. Yo, buddy. Yes. Buddy. JK, leave me alone. Jimmy, go upstairs. Buddy. Yes. Fire away. How does
Oh, dude, those two must talk so much shit to each other when the cameras aren't on. There's another soundbite though that actually provides some context in terms of the game itself. This is courtesy of Sam Gordon, who's going to join us on the upcoming road trip. A beat reporter for the San Francisco Chronicle. I believe he's going to join us around the time the team is in Miami. This attribution pertains to that last-minute block that Jimmy Butler had. In case you forgot, the Raptors, again, they were in this until the very end, and I think it was Quentin Grimes. Correct me if I'm wrong on that part of it. In fact, the stats are right here. Let me pull that up. I want to get this play right in terms of who that block was on, and this was very late in the game, and I think it was Quentin Grimes. Let me real fast here get that exact play. Thankfully, play-by-play is part of the information published by the NBA. So Jonathan Kuminga Jimmy Butler got his block on, let me see if I can find that. Damn it. I can't find it. I think it was Quinn Grimes. It might have been or Quinn Grimes. It might have been. I keep saying that. I'm sorry. Emmanuel Quickly is what I was trying to refer to. Anyways, well, I can't find who the block was on, but it was a fantastic block. And here is Jimmy Butler talking about that huge play at the end, referencing his athleticism and the fact that he still has it. Dude looked good out there, by the way. There was a monster slam he had in this game tonight that at 35, it looked good that he's pulling this off. Here is Jimmy Butler talking about his defense in lieu of a triple-double tonight.
Not that long ago, you were talking about how you don't really jump no more. And then I've seen you like sky for a dunk, and now you're getting up for a block. Do you know when, all right, it's time to get up, or is it just instinctual?
It's just instincts at that point. I try not to do it, but I can jump a little bit. Not like I used to. I'm not JK jumping. You know? I can jump higher than BP though. I can do that. But I think there's a time and place for it, and there was a time and place for it tonight.
So
it's there.
The moment just
it's there. It's in, like I can feel it, and then I feel the way that I feel after the game. So, but we won, so it's all a good call.
Given that you had some time off earlier this year, do you feel fresher at this point in the season than you might normally?
No.
And side note, that is Sam Gordon he has a deep voice. So continue on here, guys.
And I didn't choose to have time off.
For sure.
Let's just get that out the way. But I do feel good. I'm telling you, winning takes care of everything. Winning makes all the pain go away. Winning is one of the best things in the world. Now I'm glad that I can be winning here.
Oh, I'm so glad Jimmy Butler's a part of this team. I love the fact that the little shade he dissed to Brandon Pajemski, saying he's got better hops than him, doesn't have better hops than Jonathan Kuminga, not the same athlete at 35 that he was at 25. Nonetheless, he let his instincts take over, and he got a monster block to seal the deal for the Warriors tonight. Cannot get over how exalted I am to have Jimmy Butler, a player I always loved watching before he was a member of the Warriors, and now he's on the team that I cover and love. One more Jimmy Butler attribution, and this one's courtesy of Anthony Slater. Jimmy Butler here talking about the impact of Stephen Curry potentially missing some time because of the injury. Again, pelvis contusion is what's being reported. MRI is coming. Steve Kerr did say Stephen Curry wanted to come back into the game, but they thankfully shut him down. Here is Jimmy Butler talking about the Warriors expecting to play without Steph for the immediate future.
I think the message is going to be whether he's with us or whether he's not. Hopefully he is. But if he isn't, that's just more perfect basketball that we're going to have to play. We can't afford to turn the ball over. We can't afford to foul because we don't have the one individual that can automatically get us back into the game. But we want the guy. We want our guy with us.
And again, most of these sound bites are taken by the reporters' phones. I'm cranking the volume up as high as I can. So please forgive me for those sound bites and the volume or lack thereof. Gary Garcia, I think he was just on with us a moment ago. Thank you for the added research saying that the block that Jimmy Butler successfully executed was on Jamal Shade. I forgot how he pronounced his last name, but Jamal Shade of the Toronto Raptors came off the bench tonight to score 11 points, had 6 assists, 4 rebounds for Toronto, including a 2 of 3 shooting performance from deep. But that block prevented Toronto from winning, or at least from potentially winning. Toronto tonight, like a lot of teams do against the Golden State Warriors, shot 42.3% from deep. The Warriors themselves shot 40.4%, 19 of 47 from beyond the arc for the Golden State Warriors. Toronto was 11 of 26 in the loss for them, and the win for the Golden State Warriors. See, now Frank Grimes, that I agree with, that Andrew Wiggins was bringing some bad vibes to this Warriors team, and the Warriors will see Wiggins very soon when they take on the Miami Heat in the upcoming future. A 6-game road trip for the Golden State Warriors coming up. I wanted to share this graphic with you real fast before we go over the brief scoreboard tonight and the standings. I know a bunch of teams that you want to lose, if you like the Warriors, lost tonight. But the Warriors just completed a 7-game homestand that, outside of a loss to the Denver Nuggets, was perfect. 6-1. They averaged 114 points per game, while they gave up 107 points per game. They shot 46.3% from the field in these 7 games, 39.2% shooting from beyond the arc, a net rating of 5.6 during the homestand. The 6-1 record for a 7-game homestand, tied for the best in franchise history. So there you go. And let's play some tunes and wrap it up on this Thursday night. Oh, Peter Jennings, I'm sorry, dropped $5 in the chat. Please forgive me for that, saying that I think most people don't hate on Kuminga. I'm just always defending him and rarely ever are critical of him for any reason that we want more objectivity. I mean, what is there to criticize? I bring up the 3-point shooting. It should get better. He's shooting at 35% on the year. But again, my thing is that I don't think there is any way to objectively judge him because he doesn't play enough. That's my entire take. How can you be more objective than that? That's all I'm saying. You cannot properly judge a player of his caliber if he's not playing. That's my point. I'm not sitting here saying that he is an amazing superstar. Never once said that. I never said I think he's going to be an amazing superstar. If I had to guess, I would say that. I think he's going to be a great player. I do think the potential is clearly there. I like what I see from the kid. I don't like the minutes that is given to him because none of us, myself included, can properly analyze him. So my issue comes repeatedly from people who pretend they know what he is already. None of you know what he is. You can't know that because he doesn't play enough. When he does play enough, and then we start providing a proper analysis, I think then you'll hear an actual critique. You'll hear actual analysis. But that's my whole thing from the get-go. Don't have strong opinions for individuals when you haven't seen them play enough. How can you have a strong opinion otherwise? That's all I'm trying to say. And Frank Grimes, who writes that the team is good without him, and you base that on a 31-game stretch where the Warriors had the easiest part of their schedule. Yeah, they're good without him when they're playing a bunch of scrubs. But if you really think this Warriors team is going to be better in the postseason without him, that is insane. Because at a bare minimum, he can handle the ball. He gives you size. He's easily the most athletic player on this team. When he went down with injury, he was already second on the team in scoring. So I don't know why you diminish that. Side note, that is objectivity. He was second on the team in scoring. He was first on the team in free throw attempts. Yet he was last year, I think he was 7th on the team in minutes. This year, I think he was 5th before the injury. What do you mean, no sigh? Frank, why don't you get your ass on this show? I post the link repeatedly. Why do you never come on the show and actually have discourse? Is your only strength typing on a keyboard? That's the part that frustrates me with folks like you. You keyboard warrior punks, man. It's anybody can sit there and type on a screen. It takes talent to actually be able to interpersonally communicate with someone else and articulate your points at a clear enough manner where a lot of people are understanding it. And you're winning rhetorical arguments as a result of that. There is no respect coming from me for people who type on a keyboard and think they deserve recognition for that. Hell no. Frank, who cares about your looks, brother? Who cares? Who cares? I will never judge you or anyone else for your looks. Come on the show sometime, man. Come on. Let's have an actual discussion about that. By the way, Jerry, I know my voice is like dying here. Jerry in the chat, by the way, good memory, man. You go way back in terms of my media career. Early in my broadcast career, I guess. I was executive producer for a show on KNBR. Excuse me, called the John London Not Just Sports Show. And thank you for that. That was a long ass time ago, man. That was from I think that was 2002 to 4 was the 3-year run on that. Anyways, let's play some music and let's start wrapping it up here on a Thursday night. Pours out. And side note, I have no idea what happened tonight. Every time I do the scoreboard, it's my first experience with it as much as you folks. We start things off in LA, where the Los Angeles Lakers got their asses kicked tonight. That feels loud. Sorry. All right. The same Milwaukee Bucks that the Warriors beat 2 nights ago just took care of business against the Lakers. 118-89, the final. Giannis Antetokounmpo, 28 points, 7 rebounds in the win. ESPN, every time you hear me list one player's stats after a game like this, I'm just picking out what ESPN has selected for their breakout performer. I don't have enough time to do research on each individual game and who stood out. So I'm just going off what ESPN says. And this is who ESPN lists as the top performer for the Lakers in tonight's 118-89 loss. Bronny James with 17 points. And now I am going to look at the box score because I'm curious to know if Bronny James deserves those accolades. And oh my God, he does. Bronny James was tied for the team lead in points with Dalton Connect, both players scoring 17 points in a losing effort. Luka Doncic did not play in that game, interestingly enough. And one other stat worth noting with Bronny, who did finish 7 of 10 from the field, 2 of 4 from deep in 30 minutes of play. Bronny James was also a minus 36 in net rating, meaning in those 30 minutes that he played basketball, Milwaukee outscored the Lakers by 30 points. The Chicago Bulls. Oh, real fast. The Lakers dropped to 43-26. Yeah. And Milwaukee improves to 39-30. The Chicago Bulls, 128-116 winners tonight over the Sacramento Kings at Golden One Center. Let's go. Yeah. I don't see no damn beam out there tonight. The Northern California skies are clear of the light pollution that comes from Sacramento. Nikola Vucevic, 24 points, 14 rebounds, 8 assists in the win. Malik Monk, 34 points in the loss for a Kings team that drops to 35-34. Chicago, the most pathetic franchise in the NBA, dropped to 30-40. two more games on the night. The Indiana Pacers defeating the Brooklyn Nets in Indiana 105-99 to improve to 40-29. The Nets dropping to 23-47. Benedict Mathurin, 28 points, 16 rebounds in the win. Zaire Williams, 22 points in the loss. And last but not least, the Charlotte Hornets defeating the New York Knicks in Charlotte 115-98. The final, Charlotte improves to 18-51. The Knicks drop to 43-26. Mark Williams, 19 points, 14 rebounds, 3 blocks in the win. Karl Anthony Towns, 24 points, 10 rebounds in the loss. And that leads to the standings. And oh boy, am I curious. All right, so I'm going to share my screen here so we can all see together where the Warriors stand on a Thursday, March 20th. Happy first day of spring. Happy Nowruz if you celebrate that. Here we go. So well, this is interesting. The Phoenix Suns, if the season ended today, would be a play-in team. The Dallas Mavericks continue their slide. Oh my God. Dallas has lost 9 of their last 10. So Dallas and Phoenix are tied at 33-37. But Phoenix is now the 10 seed in the West, and that's likely how it's going to shake out when all is said and done. Sacramento is your 9 seed at 35-34. Minnesota drops to 8. With a 40-31 record. The LA Clippers are now 7th with a 39-30 record. You don't want to finish tied with LA in the standings because LA owns the tiebreaker. Minnesota, on the other hand, a different story. That's okay. You also don't want to finish in a 3-way tie with those two teams because Golden State would be the odd team out. And I think that's because of conference record. So that's how that plays out. And then the Warriors are currently 6. With tonight's win, they're now 41-29. They've won 9 of their last 10. So they're 16 and a half games behind the Thunder. But, and this is music, at least to my ears, they're now just 2 games back of Memphis. Just 2. They're 2.5 games back of the LA Lakers. 3 games back of the Denver Nuggets. And 4 games back of the Houston Rockets, who are the 2 seed. And if the season ended today, this is how it would shake down. I'm going to start doing this now. So the play-in tournament would feature Phoenix and Sacramento. Loser of that game goes home. Excuse me. The winner of that game, and that game will be played in Sacramento. The winner of that game would play the loser of the Clippers and the Timberwolves. That game would be played in Intuit in LA, Inglewood more specifically. So the Clippers, if they win that game, would get the winner of that game would basically get the 7 seed. The loser of that game would play the winner of the Kings Suns game for the 8 seed. So let's say hypothetically the Clippers beat Minnesota in a 7-8 matchup. LA would get the 7 seed. Minnesota would then host the winner of the Kings Suns game for the 8 seed. So let's say hypothetically Sacramento beats Phoenix. You would then have Sacramento traveling to Minnesota and the winner of that game gets the 8 seed. The loser is out. Meanwhile, the OKC Thunder would await the 8 seed. The Houston Rockets, if the season ended today, as the 2 seed, would play the 7 seed. So in this hypothetical, I picked out the Clippers. So it would be Rockets and Clippers. And this part sucks, and this is why hopefully it does not finish like this. The Denver Nuggets, as the 3 seed, would take on the Golden State Warriors, who are the 6 seed. Again, don't want that matchup. That's just me. And then the Lakers and the Grizzlies would be your final first round matchup. That's where we are. And the Warriors have an insanely easy road trip coming up. 6 games, 6 off days, Sign me up. I don't know what a super sticker is, but Dank Dank just gave one. Thank you. A $3 super sticker. My God, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Really do. Young West 79 bringing up the odds makers, putting the Warriors now in the top 5 in terms of favorites to win it all. I've seen that as well. It makes sense. I mean, the Warriors are surging right now, and you have national media prognosticators calling the Warriors the second best team in the West. At least some people are. Yeah, the hype is back. MJ mentioning that the Lakers, if the Warriors played them in the playoffs, would be free throw merchants. And Bob Fitzgerald made this point on he was being interviewed on a show recently, and he brought up the Lakers as being a team that he does not want to see the Warriors play, largely because of the free throw aspect. And that Luka Doncic and LeBron James together will probably average 50 free throw attempts just between those two. Jesus Christ. I agree with. See now, Frank. This is called a full circle moment, folks. See now, Frank Grams is repeatedly saying things I agree with. Memphis, the Lakers, Houston, OKC, they're all food for the Golden State Warriors. Wholeheartedly agree. Simon, too, mentioning that Kevon Looney will be a liability against LA and Denver. Again, LA, just my opinion on this, but the Anthony Davis trade weakened them in terms of matchup potential versus the Warriors. I forgot who said it in the show tonight. Did someone say it on the show tonight? But I thought someone said that the postseason is all about matchups, and I agree, which is why, again, Memphis and Houston are the most ideal opponents for the Golden State Warriors. The Lakers, I think, were a much more difficult matchup when they had Anthony Davis versus Luka Doncic. That's just me, but the Warriors can handle that. I feel confident in saying that. But Denver, so the Kevon Looney part of this, again, with LA, I think he's serviceable. He has a role. He brings value. Denver, you're right. Kevon Looney is practically worthless against the Nuggets. He can't defend Jokic. He can't defend Aaron Gordon. He looks bad. All right. Otherwise, that's it. Tomorrow at 1:30 p.m., join me and the Hall of Famer Rick Barry. Will be joining us. Been a few weeks since we've had Rick on the show. He's going to provide some insights. Going to tell the audience how he feels about the Warriors, and if there's an absolutely beautiful thing about Rick Barry is that he's going to keep it real. He's authentic. He's a straight shooter. The dude is a Warriors legend, yet he will criticize the Warriors if it's warranted. He'll also praise them if it's warranted, and he joins the show tomorrow. Until then, lively chat. I always love it because it makes things entertaining. So thank you, and good game for the Warriors. Let's hope Stephen Curry is okay. We should have more information about that as well tomorrow when Rick joins the show. Until then, I think curmudgeon's a little disrespectful for Rick, but I get it. But I love Rick. He's my boy. You're my boy, Blue. And well, in this case, you're my boy, Rick. Anything else? Armando Lara, thank you for the super sticker. I don't know what super stickers are, but I'll take them. Thank you. That's insanely generous. And otherwise, and Chardal, look at this. Chardal is joining us on Saturday as well. You damn right, Urias. I like your name, Urias. Urias Delfringer. Is that your real name? If it's not, where the hell did you get that from? It's creative. It's unique. And if it's your real name, bravo. Anyways, yes, that is an old school reference. Will Ferrell, you're my boy, Blue. The word blue, when it comes to movie or show references, you can also evoke South Park. I don't know if you South Park junkies out there are familiar with the episode where Randy Marsh had to replace his toilet. It was blue. Oh, blue. And he replaced the toilet with a Japanese toilet. That's just a fantastic show. Every single episode is phenomenal. Oh, blue. All right, we're done. Thanks, everyone. We'll be back at this tomorrow, 1:30. Come join the party. Go Dubs. Good win. It was close. It was hairy, but good win. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.